If suppose I want to do minimum installation, only the operating system should run, nobody is going to play with the graphics, then I don't need graphics, right? So it will save space in the hard drive, right? Okay. So I just gave you an idea how you are going to decide. So they will have meeting and they will decide, okay, these are the servers we are going to do. This is going to be a web server, this is going to be a home directory server, this is going to be a file server, right? So based on that, this is going to be a home directory server, so your export home should be big. If it is a print server, your var should be big, right? Like that. So you got an idea, right? Okay. So that we will learn in this course, right? We are going to learn these sections a little further, right? But I want you to know why you are learning that. That's what I'm trying to explain now, right? So you will get a big picture. So you will understand. Okay. If suppose I ask you to make a car, somebody is bringing a tire. So you are thinking why they are bringing tire. But if I show the car, the full structure of the car or tire is used, then you know why they are bringing tire. So that is the purpose of this lesson. Okay. Then how I am going to install now? How am I going to install? How can you install Solaris? From where can you install? You can install Solaris from where?
Net.
From?
From net.
Yeah, first from CD-ROM. First from CD-ROM.
From flash.
Yeah. We will talk about CD-ROM first. So in the CD-ROM, what is the disadvantage? If you are installing with CD-ROM, you have two DVDs. You have two DVDs for Solaris, right? So, one DVD, sorry. If it is CD-ROM 3, if it is DVD 1. The CD-ROM now must be 4, I think, right? So, but if it is DVD-ROM, DVD only 1, right? So what are the disadvantages installing? What are the disadvantages in installing using the DVD-ROM?
One user at a time.
Right?
One user at a time.
Only one system you can install at a time. But if you want to install 10 systems, then you have to have 10 copies. 10 copies. Making 10 copies is not a big deal, but somebody has to watch 10 systems. So system is going to ask you a lot of questions because it's an interactive installation. So CD-ROM is interactive. You have to answer their questions. So if installation takes half an hour, you have to spend at least about 15 minutes answering the questions or 10 minutes answering the questions, right? But in each machine, if I am installing 100 machines, that may be a problem, right? In this scenario, I assume all my machines in the office are same. Almost same architecture, same type of installations, right? All the home directories, everything almost same type. In that case, what I can do is I can create a flash. I can create a flash image, right? So I can, like ghost image, I create a flash image. I install Solaris in one machine. I add all the packages, all the patches, whatever I want to add, all the drivers I want to add. Then I take a flash image of that, right? Then I can install that in other machines from the network or locally. Okay, I can copy the flash in a network and I can install from there. I can go put it in a CD-ROM and install in each machine if I want. Even this one I can install from network if you want, right? So if I am installing a few machines of same type, this is good. Flash, local flash is enough. Local flash is enough, right? But if I am installing 10 machines, 15 machines once in a blue moon, then this is fine. We assume that I am installing Solaris almost every day, about 20 machines every day, or once in a way 100 machines. Is it a good method to install 100 machines? You are going to pay the person who is installing a good money, right? So it costs a lot of money for the company. So what we should do?
Jumpstart.
So we have to have something called Jumpstart. So we do Jumpstart installation. So Jumpstart install is something like what we have in Linux, Kickstart, or maybe in AX, NIM. NIM is something like this, Jumpstart. We install the Solaris machine over the network. So we have the media in one server, then from that server we install into our machines. I can have any number of machines. The speed depends on the power of that server, right? If the server is fast, okay, good, I can install many, okay? But Jumpstart, the problem is, if I am plugging a Spark 4M architecture sometimes i86, sometimes 4U architecture, 3U architecture, different architectures I am plugging. They are not the same, the machines are not the same. So if I do just regular Jumpstart, it may not be suitable for all the clients. The machines I am plugging in are going to be clients. They don't have operating system. They are depending on the servers to start, and then we are going to install in them because they have hard drives, right? But only problem is they are not of the same type. i86, Spark 4M, 4U, 1U, like the different architectures. To solve that problem, I will make this installation custom Jumpstart. I customize that environment in such a way, computer will answer all the questions. Computer itself will have answers to all the questions, and also whether it is i86 or any other machine, it will install without asking you, without disturbing you. So I plug 100 machines in the network, then I will say, use a command you will learn later, boot, net, install. Then it will go to the network, and then it will start installing in all the 100 machines. So I go and have my lunch and come back. It's all ready. Okay? All the answers for questions are done automatically. So that type of environment is custom Jumpstart. Okay? So I have to decide. Maybe I have another problem. My server is always used. I know if I install Solaris, I have to shut down the server and reboot after the installation is done. Right? And also the server should be free. I can't install another version of Solaris if I am using Solaris 9. I want to install Solaris 10. I can't install it at a time when people are using it. Can they do that? Cannot. But here there is a solution for that. Right? So while people are using, I can install Solaris there. I am having Solaris 9, I install Solaris 10. Right? So that is called live install. When the server is running, I am doing. Then we say my installation failed. My installation, what I did now, failed. So what will happen now? The system will crash. It's useless now.
No, because when you live, you have another copy.
Yeah, it will revert back to the old one. It will revert back to the old one.
Don't you have two copies? One in which you update and then you start installing. You update the copy,
Okay.
and then you update the copy with the current version, and then you make the whatever update you are making, right?
Yeah, it will work something like that.
Something
yeah.
like that.
Yeah. So it will update at the same time. It may copy somewhere some information, and then it will upgrade. If things go wrong, it will revert back to the old one. If things go good, the new one will take over. Then at that time you have to reboot. Finally, right? So only for a short time, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you may have a break, interruption, right? So that also we have an option, right? So we have interactive, we have different type of installation, which will some installation occupy big space, some installation occupy small space in the hard drive. We can install over the network, right? We can install from CD-ROM, from flash image, from USB, tape drive, right? All facilities are there. So these are the things we will do when we do the installation. After we install, then we have to allow users to log in. Otherwise, what is the point? Right? You install an operating system, you don't set up users, right? So we learn how to set up users. then we have to copy data. Restore. So we have to learn how to restore data. We would have copied from an old machine and we are going to restore here, so we should know how to restore, right? So setup users, restores, okay? And when we restore, people have to access this information. So we have to have file system permission. People have to have file system permission, right? Because they can't access everything in the system. And for that people to use, I have to mount the file systems in their workstations or in their computers. If I am using a workstation or computer or PC, I have to mount what data directly from the server into mine, right? That has to be done.
NFS or what?
Pardon?
Mounting how?
We have to share it there,
NFS.
share it. When it share, it becomes like a NFS share.
NFS, right?
Then we come and mount here. And only problem is mount can be done by only root. Only root can mount that. So I don't want that, because every time there are thousands of people working, they can't call root to mount file systems every time. So I have to know how to automatically mount when the system starts, right? When my system starts. So I have to learn what is AutoFS. I have to learn what is AutoFS. Right? And also, I'm working on the data here. My main component here is data. Right? I want to centralize data. That's why I have a server, file server, where I put all my data. Or home directory server, where I put all my home directories. Okay? So now I have to preserve this data. How can I preserve the data? What are the methods to preserve, maintain, secure your data? First thing is, if I want a copy of that, then I have to know how to back up. That is just to take a copy of that. Then what about how to protect that from intruders?
Archive to different.
You have to?
Archive to different location.
Intruders are different. You watch intruders or monitor intruders. Monitor user usage, user access. You have to monitor user access. Who are the people using the system? Who are the people opening the files here? You have to monitor that. So we will learn how to do that also. Right?
Firewalls, what is firewall?
I can have firewall. Yeah. Firewall. Set up firewall. All those has to be done. Right? And I have to access this server from outside the company also. So I have to set up environment, port forwarding in your router. Right? You have to know little network in that, right? And then port forward all the requests to this server or that server, depending on where they have to go. Right? So I have to know about ports. I have to know about ports. Right? And in an environment, I have server, and then the other people are accessing the server. They may access the server by telnet, they may access the server by rlogin, they may access by SSH, but I don't want telnet, I don't want rlogin. How I can control, right? So, controlling user requests by telnet, SSH, rlogin, etc. How I can do that?